She gave her virginity to her wealthy CEO friend, but he couldn't let go because he was in love. The rooftop was shining with tiny string lights hanging above the busy streets of downtown Manhattan. The air felt warm, calm, and full of excitement. A group of musicians was playing soft music in the background, but the sounds of the city could still be heard. Alira Vance touched the strap of her ivory-colored dress and looked at herself in a mirror. The dress fit her perfectly, like it was made just for her. Everything tonight had a reason. She wasn't trying to look pretty just to impress someone. She had a plan. This night was about being clear, being strong, and choosing something or someone for herself. There was a small table for two under the glowing lights. A bottle of cold champagne was sitting in a shiny silver bucket. Alira had planned this evening carefully. She had booked this rooftop 2 months ago, and there was only one person she wanted to invite here. When the elevator opened, she held her breath. Colin Ward walked out. He wore a dark blue suit, no tie, and the top button of his shirt was open. He walked like he belonged here. When he saw her, he stopped and smiled. "Wow, Vance, what's this? Is it your birthday, or are you trying to make everyone lose control?" Alira smiled. Neither. I just wanted a quiet place." He walked closer and gave her a short, light hug. It was polite and quick, but Alira still felt something. He smelled like wood and oranges and something warm. That smell always made her feel nervous in her heart. They both sat down at the table. The tall buildings around them stood like silent giants. Callan raised one eyebrow and looked at her. "This feels serious." "It is," she said. The music kept playing. The wind moved gently. And what she was about to say would change everything. Alira didn't touch her drink. She just looked at Callan. He was the one who had been by her side for so many years. He had always been kind and respectful. And now, things were about to be different. Callan moved in his seat and rolled up his sleeves, but his eyes stayed on her. "You're being quiet. That's when you usually say something that surprises me." "Surprises you?" she asked. "You have that look," he said. "Like you're about to make a big choice and I'm going to be part of it." She smiled a little and looked down. "I'm 31, Callan." "You don't look it," he said quickly. "That's not the point." He waited. "I've done everything right. School, job, saving money, being careful. But for what? To keep pretending I don't want more?" Now he was really listening. "I've never really let anyone in," she said. "Not all the way. Not like that." He frowned. "You don't have to." "I know," she said, just sat lifting her chin. "But now I want to, with someone who really sees me." He leaned back in his chair. "I want you to be my first," she said clearly. Callan stopped with his glass halfway to his mouth. The quiet was deep and heavy. "What did you just say?" "You heard me," she said. "That's not something you just say between dinner and dessert." "I didn't just say it. I planned it. I thought about it, and I chose you." He opened his mouth, then closed it. He looked a little surprised. "You've always seen me, Callan. You never expected me to act different. You've been there through everything. When I was happy, when I was angry, when I was sad, I trust you. This isn't about love or happy endings. It's about me choosing." He let out a breath. "Alira, this is a big step. We've been near this step for 15 years. He said nothing. She leaned closer. "I'm not asking for forever. I'm asking for care, for honesty, and I trust you more than anyone to share this moment with me." He put both hands on the table like he needed to hold on to something. "I want you," she said, "but if it's too much, just say so. I won't ask again." Callan didn't answer right away, the rooftop frozen like time had stopped. "You're serious," he said. "As serious as I've ever been." He looked away for the first time and ran a hand through his hair. "You've never said anything like this before." "I never had to," she replied, "until now." He gave a quiet laugh and leaned back. "This is big. You don't think it'll change everything?" "It will. That's the point." Callan looked worried. "I've wanted you for years, Alira, but I didn't want to ruin what we have." She lowered her voice. "I knew you wouldn't take the step, so now I am." He stared at her. His eyes were full of thoughts. She couldn't tell what he was thinking yet. "I don't want to be your regret," he whispered. "You won't be," she said, "unless you say yes and then pretend like it didn't matter." He kept looking at her, and now she saw it. He wasn't unsure. He was feeling something deep. That scared her more than anything. He pushed his chair back just a little, not to leave, just to breathe. He looked out at the buildings. His silence wasn't because he was confused. He was thinking hard. Elira didn't move. She let the silence stay. She let him feel her bravery. Finally, he spoke. "Do you know what you're asking me?" "Yes," she said. "You're not just my friend. You're always there for me. You help me make good choices. You're important." "Good," she said, "because I'm not just anyone." He stared at her. She could see that he was scared of losing her, scared of wanting her too much. "If I say yes," he said slowly, "I won't be able to pretend nothing happened. I'm not asking you to pretend, but I'm not asking for promises either." He tapped his fingers on the table, something he hadn't done in years. "Give me the night to think," he said. She nodded. "You've got it." They both stood up. No hugs this time, no kisses, just one last look. It was full of feelings that hadn't been spoken yet. Colin walked to the elevator. Elira stayed behind, standing tall. She had said everything she needed to say. Now it was his turn. Colin's apartment was quiet. The lights from the tall buildings outside lit up the windows. He hadn't touched his dinner or the drink on the table. Ever since he left the rooftop, he couldn't stop thinking. Her words played in his mind again and again. "I want you to be my first." It wasn't flirting. It wasn't confusion. It was Elira, calm and strong, clear and brave. He leaned over the couch, staring at the city. "What are you doing, man?" he whispered to himself. 15 years of friendship. 15 years of keeping his feelings quiet. He knew how she laughed. He knew how her eyes looked when she wanted the truth. He had wanted her for so long. But this wasn't about wanting to kiss her. It was about being scared. If it went wrong, he wouldn't just lose one night. He might lose her forever. That would break his heart. She wasn't asking for love. She wasn't asking for forever. But her question meant something big. She chose him. He looked at her name on his phone. Then he called. She answered after one ring. "You took longer than I expected," she said calmly. "I wasn't sure if I should call." "Then why did you?" "Because I can't stop thinking about it." "About me?" He was quiet. "You don't owe me anything," she said gently. "Don't say that." "Why not?" "Because I'm not saying no." "Then what are you saying?" "I need to be clear before I say yes. I'm listening." If we do this," he said, "it's not a favor. It's not something I'll forget. It's not just a night to me." "I never asked for something small," she said. "I know. I just need to be honest. If we go there, I won't act like nothing changed. I'm not asking to be forgotten. I just want honesty." "I need to know what this isn't," he said. "It's not a relationship," she replied. "It's about trust. I'm not trying to change everything at once, but I also won't be someone's secret. I would never treat you like that." "Then show me." He smiled and sat down. "Okay, but if we do this, we do it my way. What's your way?" "This doesn't happen fast. Not just to check a box. I want it to be special for both of us." "It already is," she said. "No, I want you to remember it as more than just a night. I want you to feel safe, seen." She was quiet, but not unsure. "And afterward," he said, "we don't pretend it didn't happen. We stay honest. That's all I've ever wanted. If I take you to bed, Elira, you're not just another person." "I know." They both were quiet again, but this time the silence felt peaceful. "You'll have to trust me too," he said softly. "Not just as your friend, as someone who's wanted you for longer than I can say." She didn't speak for a second, then said, "Then show me you mean it." He smiled through the phone. Challenge accepted. They didn't say anything else, but the quiet now was full of something new. A promise. This was really happening, and everything was about to change. In a hotel room high above the river, the lights were soft and golden. The city outside kept moving, but inside, time slowed down. Alira stood in the middle of the room wearing a soft robe. Under it, a lovely lace outfit hugged her gently. She waited quietly. Alira wasn't shaking. Not really. Her body was calm. Her mind was still thinking about everything. She had made this choice by herself. No one told her to. No fairy tale dreams, but it was real. She looked in the mirror. She didn't feel nervous. She saw peace in her face. Her eyes looked strong. Something inside her had already started to change, even before Colin came to see her. She had waited for this moment, not because she was scared, but because she was careful. Then came a soft knock at the door. She walked over and opened it. Colin stood there. He wore a nice gray jacket and a white shirt with the top buttons open. His sleeves were rolled up, showing his arms. He didn't wear any cologne. He just smelled like fresh rain and warm city air. He didn't say anything at first. He looked at her. Not just how she looked, but really her. That look made it hard for him to breathe. "You're early?" she said, raising an eyebrow. He stopped and cleared his throat. "You look amazing." She stepped to the side to let him in. The door closed behind them. He turned toward her, eyes kind and calm. "We don't have to hurry," he said. "We won't," she answered. "Would you like to talk first?" he asked. She nodded. "I think that's a good idea." She turned to go sit on the couch, but his voice made her pause. "Alira," he said softly. She looked back. "Let me see you." Her hands held the edge of her robe tightly, but she slowly turned around. She untied the robe and it slid down her shoulders. Callan's breath caught in his throat. He stepped closer, slowly, like a wave coming to shore. His hands hovered near her skin, not touching yet. Her robe slipped down to the floor. She stood tall, eyes looking out the window. "You're shaking," he whispered. "I'm steady," she answered gently. "You don't have to be," he said. Then his fingers touched her arm very lightly. She turned to face him. She wore a soft lace dress and courage in her eyes. "I need you to know something," she said in a calm voice. He looked into her eyes. "Tell me. This isn't about making you happy or proving something to me. This is about letting go when I'm ready." He nodded. "Then we'll go at your pace." She looked at him with curiosity. "You've been with others before." He nodded. "Yes, but none of them were you." He gently held her face, his thumb brushing her cheek. "I've heard your voice in my mind for so long. You are what I've been hoping for, even when I didn't believe I'd ever get it." She leaned into his touch. "And now that I can," he whispered, "I'll move like someone who waited a long time." She stepped into his arms, chest to chest. He felt warm and real. "Hold me like you mean it," she whispered. "There's no other way I know how," he said with a soft smile. Then he kissed her, slowly, kindly, not in a rush. He took his time, like he wanted to learn everything about her. When the kiss ended, she looked at him. "I'm not afraid of you," she said. "I'm afraid of myself," he answered, "because I've dreamed about this so clearly." He picked her up gently. She didn't resist. He carried her to the bed like she was a precious secret he had waited to hold. "Are you sure?" he asked one more time. "Yes," she said clearly, "but I'll speak up if I change my mind." He nodded. "That's the rule." She watched him as he took off his clothes. He wasn't showing off. His body was strong from hard work and care, but what made her heartbeat faster was the way he looked at her, like she already mattered. He joined her on the bed and kissed her again, slower than before. His fingers moved gently across her arms and sides, learning her. She trusted him. His hands were kind and slow, touching her carefully like he was reading a story written on her skin. Her body felt alive and awake, not scared. She was choosing this moment for herself. "You're so quiet," he whispered, his breath warm. "I'm listening," she said. "To what?" "Myself, and to you." He kissed her softly again. "What do you hear?" "That I'm ready." He continued slowly, listening to her every sound and feeling. She held on to him, not to lead, but to stay steady. When she let go, her breath came out softly, like a quiet song. He kissed her leg, then her arms, then finally her lips again. "Still with me?" he asked gently. She nodded and pulled him close. "You haven't even started." He smiled softly, then moved above her. He didn't rush. He looked into her eyes. "I need to see you," he said. "Then look," she said. Their eyes stayed together. He was slow and careful, making sure she was okay. Her arms wrapped around him. He paused when they were close, his chest moving with quiet breaths. "You okay?" "I feel full," she said, "and I want more." He moved with her, their rhythm soft and deep. His hand helped lift her a little, and she gasped. He kissed her cheek, her neck, her lips again and again. Even when things got stronger and faster, he didn't rush. Even when her nails touched his back and she breathed harder, he stayed focused. "You feel like you were made for me," he said. "And you're going to change me," she whispered. They kissed again, more deeply this time. They moved together, not to finish fast, but to be close. She reached the top again, louder this time. Then he did too. But even when it was over, he didn't fall away. He stayed close, touching her face gently. "Do you still trust me?" he asked. "With everything," she said. They lay there quietly. Their bodies were warm and calm. Outside, the world didn't matter. Alira's cheek rested on Colin's chest. She listened to his heart. It beat softly now. He looked at her and touched her curls. "You okay?" She nodded. "More than okay." He smiled and hugged her closer. "I didn't know it could feel like this," she said. "Like what?" "Like coming home." He kissed her forehead. "I didn't want to say this before. I didn't want it to sound fake." "Say it now," she said. "I've always wanted you," he whispered near her ear. She looked up at him. "And you waited?" He nodded. "Because if I ever got this chance, I needed to be the kind of man who truly deserved it." She didn't speak right away. She took his hand and placed it over her heart. "Then don't be too careful with me," she whispered. "Just be honest." He touched her face. "I'm done being careful." The next day, Alira didn't call or text. She woke up, made her tea, and got to work like nothing big had happened. But each time her phone buzzed, she checked to see if it was him. It never was. By the second day, the silence felt different. Not like he was busy, just quiet. She read his last message again and again. "Be ready. I want to take my time with you now." Not even a full sentence. No hello, no how are you, just nothing. On the third day, what hurt wasn't the silence. It was that she had trusted him, and now he didn't act like trust mattered. Alira didn't cry. She cleaned. She folded all her clothes neatly. She fixed the spice jars in ABC order. She cleaned her mirrors twice. Everything sparkled. When the doorbell rang, she hoped. But it wasn't him. It was a package. Something she had ordered long ago, a nice linen jacket for a work event. She opened it, tried it on, looked in the mirror, then took it off and threw it on the couch. Later, she worked harder than ever. She redid a project that was already fine. She started again, making it better. Alira's phone buzzed again. This time, she didn't even look at it. She saw Colin's name and locked the screen, putting it face down on the table. She didn't want to look weak. Not for him. She took a shower, put on all black clothes, picked up her bag, and walked to her favorite cafe. She ordered green tea, opened her laptop, and answered 3 emails she had ignored for weeks. Her fingers moved fast. Her mind felt strong. But when she stopped and looked up, she realized something important. She wasn't angry because Kalen disappeared. She was angry because she hadn't. That evening, her phone buzzed again. Sure, Kalen had sent a message. "Hey, back-to-back meetings. Sorry, I've been off." She looked at the message. Did he think that was enough? Another message came, and "Can we talk soon?" Alira held her finger on the message and pressed delete. No drama, no long message, no joke, just delete. The next day, he texted again. "Kane, thinking about you. I know you're upset." She deleted that too. The third time he texted, she didn't even read it. She just saw his name and swiped it away. Callan wasn't ghosting her. He was just sending words instead of really being there. She wanted real gifts, not promises. She would not be tricked into staying quiet. That night, she muted his number, not because she was angry, but because she needed to protect herself. The fourth night was the hardest. Alira sat on her couch with a blanket. The TV was on, but she wasn't watching. Her wine glass was full, but she didn't drink. She wasn't lonely, but she missed hearing his voice. She could have called him. She could have asked for answers, but she didn't. If he couldn't show up after what they shared, he didn't deserve her voice. She turned off the TV, washed the glass, dried it, put it away, and went to bed alone. Still strong. Still Alira. The next morning, Alira sat at her table and tied her scarf. Sunlight filled the room. Her phone stayed quiet. A memory came back. She was 15, sitting outside her aunt's house after her mom's funeral. Her dress was too tight, her shoes too big, and her chest felt heavy. Kalen had shown up with grape soda and gum. He didn't say anything. He just sat beside her until the sun went down. That was the boy she trusted. That was the man she gave her heart to. Now that same man acted like she was just another person in his life. She stood up. Her strength wasn't in holding back tears. Her strength was in asking for answers. Just as she was about to go for a walk, her phone rang. It was her friend Lyric. "Don't try to lie," Lyric said. "I saw your story. You looked like you were smiling, but it wasn't real." "I'm fine," Alira said. "You always say that when you're not," Lyric replied. "You gave your body to that man, and now he's texting you like a bank alert." "I told you, quiet men can be dangerous when they stop showing up." "I don't regret it," Alira said. "Then stop waiting for him to make it mean something." "I did my part," Alira said softly. "Exactly?" Lyric replied, "So now you either get answers or you leave." Alira didn't speak. "You already crossed the bridge when you said yes," Lyric added. "Might as well walk across it." After a long silence, Alira asked, "Do you think I'm stupid?" "No," Lyric said. "I think you love a man who doesn't know how to handle being seen." Alira turned back toward her apartment and picked up her phone. She didn't fix her hair or her makeup. She just typed, "We need to talk in person, and don't make me show up at your office in heels and flip tables." He replied within a minute, "Callan, tonight, my place, 8, just us." At 7:58, she was in the elevator going up to his home. When the doors opened, he was waiting in gray joggers, barefoot, holding tea. He looked too calm. She walked past him without saying anything. "Alira, don't," she said. "I'm not here for small talk." "Then why are you here?" "You touched me like I was yours," she said. "You kissed me like it meant something. But now you text like I was just a mistake." "I never said it meant nothing," he replied. "You didn't have to," she said. "Your silence said it." "I didn't mean to disappear." "You didn't disappear. You just faded away. You needed safety, not space." "You're mad because I didn't call you every hour after we slept together?" "I'm mad because you asked for my trust and then didn't take care of it." "I wasn't ready for how much it changed things." "That's not a reason. You don't get to change everything and then act like it surprised you." "I'm scared, Alira." "Of what?" "Of losing the only person who knew me before everything." "You don't lose someone by loving them. You lose them by pretending love doesn't exist." "What do you want from me?" he asked. "I want the truth, not the safe truth, the real one. I want the man who couldn't stop touching me because it felt right." She looked at him. "You're a coward." "Excuse me?" "You heard me. You're not quiet because you don't care. You're quiet because you care too much. You lead in every part of life, but not here with me. Because this isn't a business deal. It's you. And if I mess this up..." "You already are," she said. "I won't make myself small so you can feel safe. I'm not good at this. Not when it's real. I don't need perfect. I need truth, and I won't sit here wondering what I meant to you while you stay quiet." "So prove it," she said, "or leave me alone forever." She turned and walked to the elevator. Her heels made loud sounds. This wasn't heartbreak. It was her decision. Later that night, rain hit the city hard. Thunder shook the windows. Alira sat on her couch, wrapped in a hoodie. Her wine glass sat nearby, untouched. She wasn't waiting anymore. Then came the knock. 3 loud bangs. Silence. 2 more knocks. She stood up, her heart beat fast. She opened the door. Callan stood there, soaked from the rain. "I choose you," he said. "Now. In the rain. In your doorway. in every moment you'll give me." He stepped forward. "I've been running since I realized you weren't just beautiful. You were dangerous. To everything I thought I knew. I can't do silence anymore." He stepped inside, wet shoes leaving prints. Alira didn't stop him. "I've never felt like this. It scared me." "So you ran?" she asked. "No, I froze. I didn't know how to be the man you deserved. You asked for care. You didn't ask for love, but I gave it anyway. That night, I haven't slept since. Every time I close my eyes, I see you, hear you, feel your hands like I was more than just Kellen. I was selfish. I tried to keep the friendship when I should have respected what we already had." "I'm not perfect," he said, "but I am yours. I've been yours since the day you asked me to hold your hand at your mom's funeral. I don't want safety anymore. I want you." Alira stepped aside. Callan came in soaked. She closed the door. "Say something," he asked. "You think a confession in the rain fixes everything?" "No, but it's a start. You don't get to disappear and then act like a hero." "I'm not trying to." "Good, because you're not." Their words sparked again, but not to fight, to be honest. "You broke something," she said, "and I held all that pain while you figured out if I was worth talking to. I never questioned your worth. I questioned if I deserved it. That's not my job to fix." Thayer walked fast, only 3 steps, and stood in front of Alira. "I know," he said softly. "That's why I'm here, not to make excuses. I came to tell the truth." Then he kissed her. It wasn't a soft or gentle kiss. It was strong and full of feeling. His hands touched her face, her waist, and her back. She didn't stop him. Instead, she held his shirt and pulled him closer. The kiss became deeper quickly. It was real and full of fire. Thayer put his hands on her waist, holding her like he needed to be sure she was real. Alira reached up and pulled off his soaked shirt, tossing it aside. As they moved together, their steps slow and sure, they left behind a trail of clothes and hesitation. He lifted her effortlessly, pressing her gently against the wall just outside the bedroom. Her arms wrapped around his shoulders, her legs around his waist. He kissed her neck, breathing her in, and she gasped, holding onto him tightly. "Do you think I left because I didn't want you?" he asked, his voice low and raw. "I left because I didn't know how to breathe without you." "Then don't stop," she whispered. Her fingers gripped his shirt, pulling him closer. "Show me." He did. He laid her on the bed like she was special. He kissed her stomach, her hips, and then went lower. His tongue moved with purpose. She cried out and arched her body. Her hands held the sheets. Her body shook with feelings she couldn't stop. Even after she cried out, he didn't stop. He kissed her thighs, stomach, and chest. Then he came over her, ready. She pulled him close with a strong need. He entered her with one strong motion. She gasped. Yes. They moved together. Her heels pushed into his back. He kissed her over and over. He lifted her back and went deeper. Her moans changed into soft pleas. Then she went quiet because she could hardly breathe. He didn't stop. She didn't want him to. They moved faster. Skin touched skin. They breathed together. Alira held his shoulders. He was sweaty. She kept saying his name like a prayer. Thayer held her face. He looked at her like she was the only one who mattered. "You're not just mine," he said while moving. "You're everything." She took a deep breath. He whispered, "You are the reason nothing else ever made sense." She wrapped her legs tighter around him. He groaned. "Say it," he told her. She touched his face. "I've always been yours." He lost control. He gently held her hands above her head and moved with all he had. The bed shook. Her body moved with his. She cried again, but not from the feeling, from the truth. His words were not just nice words anymore. They felt like home. "Have you ever left someone and later knew they were your everything?" the storyteller asked. Tell us in the comments and like the video. Your love helps us share more stories. Thayer rested his forehead on hers. They slowed down but stayed close. "I thought I knew how it would feel to have you," he whispered. "But I didn't know it would change everything I believed about love." Alira spoke softly. "You didn't ruin it, you made it new." He kissed her slowly, sweetly, then he placed his hand on her heart. "This," he said with a thick voice, "is the only thing I ever wanted to protect, but I almost ruined it by being too careful." She touched his cheek. "Then don't protect me. Choose me." "I do," he said. "I will." They moved slowly again. No rush, just staying close. Each touch was like a promise, each sound a new truth. And when they finally finished together, quiet and full, Thayer held her close and kissed her temple. "I'm not leaving," he whispered. Alira closed her eyes. For the first time in days, she slept without worry, because this time he stayed. The next morning, the apartment was quiet. Thayer was in the kitchen without a shirt, pouring coffee into 2 mugs. The storm outside was gone, but something heavy still hung in the air. Not sadness, not shame, just waiting. Alira came in wearing one of his old t-shirts. She leaned against the counter watching him. Her face was clean, no makeup, just her. "Coffee?" he asked, holding a mug. She nodded. "Thanks." They drank quietly until she spoke. "So what now?" He didn't pretend not to know what she meant. "I don't know yet," he said. "Because of work." "You mean how people see you?" "I mean power," he said. "There's a difference." She looked at him. "And I hurt that power?" "No," he said fast, "but us, we changed things." It was the truth they didn't want to say. Their love was not just about feelings, it would be in the news. He was a tech boss. She was a famous brand helper. The world would talk. Alira sat on the couch. "I'm not asking for a big show," she said, but I also won't be a secret." He held his mug. "That's not what I'm doing." "No? Then if someone saw us and posted a picture, what would you say?" He didn't answer right away. "Exactly," she said. He sighed. "It's not simple." "It is to me," she said. "I need truth. Keep your title and meetings. I just need to know I'm not a hidden part of your life." "I'm not hiding you," he said, "but I'm still learning how to let someone in." "Then stop drawing lines and hoping I won't see them," she said, standing up. He rubbed his neck. She looked into his eyes. "I don't want control. I want to be part of your real life." He nodded. "Okay, we start now." He looked out the window. "When I became CEO," he said, "they gave me rules. Be married by 35. Have a calm partner. No loud headlines." "You mean no strong woman?" she asked. "No woman who would make them wonder why I chose her," he said. "What do they expect?" "Someone simple. No opinions. Soft. And I'm not that." "Exactly. You change a room just by walking in." She didn't smile. "I'm not asking you to be smaller," he said. "But I need you to know the rooms I sit in don't care about love. They care about control. And you? I care about not losing you. You see me without all the stuff." She sighed. "So what now?" He stepped closer. "Now we write our own story." "No promises," she said. "I want a partner. Then we move like we mean it," he said. "But no timeline." "No hiding," she added. "No hiding," he agreed. They stood close. Not touching. It felt new, like a start. No need to label it, no need to prove it. "You're learning," she said. "I'm watching you," he replied. Then Thayer held out his hand. She looked at it. "Is this symbolic?" she joked. "No, it's breakfast. I'm hungry." She laughed and took his hand. The kitchen smelled like cinnamon and coffee. Thayer tried to make pancakes. Alira watched him burn the batter. "Are you really a CEO?" she laughed. "These pancakes look like a big problem." "This is cooking under pressure," he said. "You mean a yummy mess?" He gave her the best pancake with a smile. "To the woman who wants the truth." She raised her mug. "To the man who finally hears it." They ate in peace. Everything felt better. "I'm thinking of taking time off this fall," he said. "You? I want time. Real time. With you. If you want me." She looked at him. He had been her best friend. Her question, now her answer. "I'm not going anywhere," she said. "But let's take it day by day." "Good," he said. "Because I want you that way. Every day. One at a time." A fancy invitation came with shiny gold trim. Inside was a note. "Will you stand beside me tonight? Not as my date, but as my person." Alira smiled. She said yes. Now, they stood at the door of a big gala hall. She wore a black dress. He wore a perfect suit. His hand was on her back. "Ready?" he asked. "Are you?" "You're the only thing I'm sure of." They walked inside together. People stared. Some whispered. Thayer didn't stop. He held her hand the whole time. A man came up. Didn't know you were bringing someone. This is Elira Vance, Thayer said. She's not someone. She owns my heart. The man looked surprised. That's quite an intro. It's the truth, Thayer said. Elira stayed strong, but held his arm tight. Did you mean it? She whispered. Always. I don't say things I don't mean. Not anymore. People looked. Some nodded. A woman whispered to her husband. Another man raised his glass. For the first time, Elira felt seen. Not hidden. Not as a side piece. As someone who mattered. Thayer didn't need to say she belonged. He showed it. Elira sat at her table, trying to listen to all the people talking around her. The light from the candle made her face look soft and beautiful. She looked calm, but she was thinking a lot. Callan leaned closer and asked, "Are you okay?" She gave a small nod. "I'm not used to people looking at me like this." "You're always seen," he said kindly. "They're just seeing it late." She gave a tiny smile. "Are you sure this won't cause problems for you?" He looked straight at her. If it does, then it was never worth it. She looked around the room and saw that Callan kept looking at her. But this time she didn't feel shy. She didn't try to hide or make herself smaller. "I'm not scared," she said quietly. "I'm aware." Callan held her hand under the table. "That's all I need from you." She looked at him, not as a big boss or famous man, but as the person who made her tea when she was sick, the one who held her like she was special. She mouthed the words, "Thank you." Later, the host stood up and tapped a spoon on a glass. "Now we invite Colin Ward to speak. He's a smart leader and our guest tonight." Everyone clapped as Colin got up. He gently touched Elira's shoulder and walked to the stage. He didn't use a paper or screen to read from. He just looked at all the people and began. "We think innovation means cool things or big plans," Cullen said. "But real innovation starts when we let others see who we are and when we're brave enough to choose who stands beside us." The room was quiet. No one moved. "Growth isn't just about numbers," he said. "It's about people. People who help us become better. People who stand still and remind us that we've already built something special." Elira listened carefully. Every word felt like it was meant just for her. Callan finished his speech by saying, Thank you, and walked back to the table. He didn't look at anyone else, only her. Later that night, they were in Elira's apartment. The city lights twinkled outside. Elira had taken off her heels and was wearing Callan's big hoodie, sitting on the couch. Callan sat beside her, still in his fancy clothes, but more relaxed now. They didn't talk much. They didn't need to. Elira leaned on his chest and Callan held her close. His fingers moved gently on her leg. "I saw their faces," she whispered. "I wasn't looking at them," he said softly. She smiled a little. "That speech, it was a risk, wasn't it?" she asked. "Yes," he nodded. "It was for them, but mostly for you." Silence again. Then Colin spoke into her hair. "I want to build something that lasts." "With who?" she asked. "With you." She felt her heart beat faster. "But not on a company schedule," he added. "Not to make others happy. I want to build forever, your way." She looked at him closely. "You mean it?" "I've never meant anything more," he said. She didn't speak right away. She held his face in her hands and kissed him, slow and true. When she pulled back, she said clearly, "Then let's start now." It was just after 9 o'clock when Elira walked onto the rooftop where everything first began. But this time, she hadn't planned anything. The string lights still shone warmly. The city below looked soft and bright, like little stars. But the table for two was gone. Now there were just 2 chairs and 1 small table between them. A glass bottle sat in the middle. The air smelled like cedar wood. Callan stood near the edge, looking out at the city. His hands were in his pockets. Elira walked up behind him. Her heels made soft sounds on the floor. "I remember this view," she said. Callan turned around with a smile. "I remember that dress." She looked down at her dress. It was made of silk and fit her nicely. "You asked me to wear something that made me feel like I chose myself. Did you?" he asked. Every step, she said, even the hard ones. They stood face to face, no acting, just truth. Kellen took something out of his pocket. It was a small box. Alira tilted her head. Is that what I think it is? Depends, he said. Were you hoping for a diamond and big lights? She raised an eyebrow. You know me better than that. He opened the box. Inside was a black ring made of shiny stone. The ring had tiny letters inside, N+C. Alira didn't say a word. It's not a proposal, Callan said quickly. It's not planned or fancy. He stepped closer. It's a promise to stay, to build something real with you. She picked up the ring and looked at the letters. Why black stone? It's called obsidian, he said. It's strong, made from fire. It reminded me of you. She didn't smile. She felt everything deeply. I've never liked the idea of belonging to someone, she said. You don't, Callan replied. You belong to yourself, always. Then what's this for? She asked. He held her hand. It's for the times I mess up, for the days I don't know what to say, for the quiet spaces. It reminds me that this only works if it works for both of us. She looked at his face. He wasn't scared. This isn't a claim, he said. It's a promise. No big event needed. The wind blew softly. She slid the ring onto her thumb. It fit just right. She looked at it. So this is what forever feels like. He smiled gently. They stood together, no crowd, just them, not doing things the usual way, just being true. Alira looked at the ring, then at Callan. It's not the ring, she said. I know, he replied. It's not the lights, not even your speech. He waited. It's that you showed up every time it mattered. He nodded. I've lived life my own way, loved from far away, protected myself, but you, she paused. You stayed. I will, he said. She held his hand tight. I'm not saying life will always be easy, but I promise to be honest, to grow with you and on my own. Colin didn't smile. He just said, that's all I ever wanted. They stood at the edge of the roof. The city below was quiet but alive. Cars moved slowly. Buildings glowed in the night. Up there, time didn't move fast. Alira leaned on Callan, his arm wrapped around her. No talking, just closeness. I don't know what comes next, she said. Good, he said, then we get to choose. She smiled. Together. Every part, he said, even the messy ones. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and let it all in, the joy, the love, the truth. This wasn't a fairy tale, it was real. They weren't perfect, but they were whole. And finally, they were together. In a world where many people choose the easy way, Alira and Callan chose the hard way. Not because it was easy, but because it was right. It all started with one small question under the city lights. A question that could have broken them, but instead it set them free. She asked for love. He gave her time. She asked for truth. He gave her all of it. Their story wasn't perfect. There were mistakes and fears, but they kept choosing each other again and again. In a noisy world, they learned to listen, to themselves and to each other. They didn't need papers or big crowds. They made room for honesty and love. That was enough. And in doing that, they found something rare. Not just love, but freedom. Not just closeness, but safety. Later that night, they lay in bed. The city was quiet. Alira rested her head on Colin's chest. Her fingers made little drawings on his skin. Callan looked at her with soft eyes. You know, she whispered. You were my first. He gently touched her back. But you gave me my forever. Callan didn't say anything. He just kissed her forehead. Because sometimes love doesn't need words. It just needs to be held. If this story touched your heart, please like this video. It helps more people find stories that matter. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Fiction of Peace, for more powerful stories every week.